Thank you everyone for joining the Week of AI sessions. Today we have with here our favorite Amanda Pritkard here, who's going to talk about PowerPoint in a minute. I can guarantee that is going to last more than a minute. But however, a few things for people who still don't know who Amanda is. So she is a proud graduate of UT Dallas and currently serves her alma mater as the Assistant Director of Technology Experience and Innovation in Office of Information Technology. Combining her extensive technical expertise with a passion for marketing and communication, Amanda creates impactful and far reaching initiatives. She's a 4-time recipient of the prestigious Microsoft Innovator Educator Expert designation, an honor awarded to approximately only 800 certified people in the US each year. Under her leadership, UT Dallas programs have garnered multiple accolades, including a 2022 Task Project Excellence Award, the 2022 Edge Award finalist recognition, and the 2022 UTD Care Award. Thank you, Amanda, for presenting to us and our audience. We have already folks joining in, and I give the stage to you.
Thank you so much, Ujwal, and thank y'all for joining today. This is going to be exciting to be able to show you how to more expediently create some PowerPoint presentations. We are demoing during the week of AI technologies that a lot of us don't necessarily already have access to, in the hopes that you're going to see this and want to be able to use it, leverage it, and make it part of your everyday experience while working at the university. So I'm going to just start with just a little bit of background because it is week of AI and talking a little bit about some of the AI and the benefits of it. In education, already 86% of organizations are using Gen AI in education environments. You've already seen that. I think a lot of you are already using the Copilot chat, which we launched about a year ago to campus. So UTD is already on the cutting edge there. Every dollar that we invest into purchasing, using, subscribing, licensing to these AI platforms is a tremendous investment in our future as a campus. And that's why we're showing you some things this week and today specifically that are going to show you options that we have to purchase, to expand, and to extend our reach in that AI realm. So the license that I'll be utilizing today is not one that we all have, but it is one that I think you'll be excited to see put into practice, and you'll be excited to see how it can support us on campus moving forward. So just thinking of scalability and how UTD can transform over time. Right now, we're all in the little gray area here, and that we all have Copilot chat. We do have an enterprise license for that. Dr. Sarah Moore and I did a presentation on that on Monday, just so that if you've missed it, we've got a recording. You can go back and watch that particular session on the benefits and ways to use that in your workflow. If you attended that and there were takeaways and things that you thought were beneficial, then seeing what else the tools can do with a paid subscription to some of these additional models, it's going to blow your mind. So right now we have a pilot program on campus utilizing this type of license, and it's just kind of speckled throughout campus. As we grow though, the hope is that more and more people who need the licensing will be able to use it, utilize it, and help benefit their everyday workflow. So the type of license that I'm talking about, and trust me, y'all, I didn't decide on the names for these. It's confusing because it's nearly identical. And that's why I made sure and put it in the slide so that you can kind of see. Copilot chat is what we already have. That's your browser-based Copilot where you're putting in a prompt and you're getting a response back. It's generating that information to you. M365 Copilot, which again, didn't name it. I know they're nearly the same. This is one that syncs with all of the Microsoft applications that we have on campus. So think about that for a second. It is uniquely tied to your individual account, meaning it would show up in your PowerPoint, in your Word, and your Excel, and all of these platforms. This presentation, I'm just going to be highlighting PowerPoint so that we can do a more in-depth dive and show you how it can transform those presentations fairly quickly. Micah has a presentation later today at 3 where he will be doing a deeper dive into how it is embedded and works within some of those other applications so you can leverage it there as well. But just wanted to give you all a little bit of how once we see this and see how the tools work, how that's going to continually spread for the demand for this tool and the applications that we can see it having on campus. Okay, so just to reiterate, in this far left column here, those are the things that Microsoft already offers for free as part of our licensing. It's part of our package. In that middle area is what we're going to be showing you is the Microsoft 365 Copilot. We had a presentation earlier today where Luke was able to demo some of the Copilot agents and Copilot Studio, where if you're wanting to go beyond the pre-built package, there are options for you to be able to build your own tools within these platforms. So just wanted you to see and understand that this is a tiered programming, multi-level. So depending on what we as individuals need within our job and our role, can then make those selections, make those purchases, and determine how we want to move forward on our AI journey. Okay, so just to clarify too, and I should probably have the chat open on my little side screen too, is the other presentation virtual? Micah's is virtual, and so absolutely. And I do see that somebody else has an AI assistant. If we can boot that from the chat, Ujwal, please, I would appreciate it. But the other presentation is going to be virtual. So Micah will have that in person at Tech Bar if you want to join, and it's not raining currently, so you might be able to make it out there and stay dry. If not, there is a virtual component to that. So on the Week of AI website, pull that up, be able to join. So you'll be able to see in depth. Micah's going to cover some of this information. So just so you understand, the M365 Copilot that I'm going to be showing you with PowerPoint, it's $30 per person per month. And again, so that's an additional cost. You can understand scalability, that can be quite expensive to be able to administer to everyone. And that's why we're doing some of these demos. It's not necessarily something everybody may want. It's not necessarily something everyone may need in their general working environment. So I'm showing it to demonstrate interest, to show you the art of the possible of what is available that's out there. And then if it's something that we decide to pursue, there is a cost associated with it. So I want to make that very clear. I know in some of the other ones, people were asking, well, can I follow along? Can I do this with you? Not currently, because you will not have that same license type. So you'll not be able to follow along, but I will be sharing screen. We will make it a hands-on demo too, so you can see exactly what it does, and then we can have any questions that you have, feel free to post in that chat so we can make this interactive. That way you get that full experience of what the product looks like. Okay, so we're moving in now to M365 Copilot, and this is it in PowerPoint. So if you're familiar, you've already seen and utilized that Copilot chat icon, right? The little circular icon that represents Copilot. When you have the M365 license, that icon will appear in all of your applications. And the one we're going to be showing soon is Copilot in PowerPoint. It's going to be able to automatically generate slides for you with text, images, and information. So you would give it a prompt, just as you give it a prompt in the Copilot chat, and it's able to convert that prompt and information into a PowerPoint. Here's where I should be seeing the heart and thumbs up emojis, because if you think that being able to give you a quick prompt and have a presentation developed for you in seconds or a minute, then if that could be helpful to you, then that's something that we absolutely want you to see and utilize and take advantage of. I know for me, it's been immensely helpful. I don't know, I'll use this scenario. My supervisor was on a leadership call. They were having a conversation about a potential proposal and wanted to have something quickly to be able to show in that meeting. He was able to generate a prompt, be able to, while in the meeting discussing that proposal, discussing that topic at hand, have a presentation ready to show in the moment, ad hoc, and could fairly eloquently discuss what they were proposing. That's a lifesaver. This is transformative technology that we have. Okay, well, I see here my screenshot. This looks terrible. It's very blurry, so I apologize on your end too. I just wanted to pull this up just so that you could see the general prompt box, but I'm going to pull up a different screen because this one is quite small and quite cumbersome to see. So give me just 1 second, and I'll pull this up here too so that you can get a better view of that, one that's not so blurry. So I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint. Hopefully everybody sees that just fine here. And I'm pulling back up my chat so I don't miss out on anything y'all are saying. In case there are questions, please post them. But y'all are being so patient. You're great now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead into just office.com, pulling up that general browser. I'm going to go ahead and open up a blank presentation here. And let me see if I can pull my prompt that I had. So you'll notice my license, and I'll go ahead and zoom in because this might be a little bit small, but my license has the Copilot icon that we were talking about. It's going to appear at the very top of my screen here, as well as in that ribbon itself. This is the M365 Copilot, where again, it has access to my personal information within my M365 client. So it's able to pull up my documents, my data, and anything that I have within my OneDrive to be able to create some of this. So I'm going to pull up this real quick, and we're going to ask it to create a presentation. And I'm going to put in a prompt, and in just a minute, I do want y'all to come up with a prompt idea too, something that you might like to see how it presents. But we're going to do create a, and sorry, you're going to see me misspell, so it's okay. It's all part of the process. Detailed 20-minute presentation about campus safety. Now, the longer the prompt, the more specific, the more expectations that you put, the more details, then you're going to get much better results. This is just a quick little snippet of information. And I'm going to pull up our UT Dallas campus safety site here. I just chose this randomly, probably because all of the weather alarms were going off recently. So I'm pulling up UT Dallas safety site, and I'm going to put it in here. You're able to create presentations and you're able to reference it from other materials. So if you already have a particular website, a particular proposal, particular information. Now, my prompt is pretty generic here. So let's see what it's going to do with just that, and let's make sure it starts to generate. It's going to start to generate information based on what it thinks topics would be relevant or topics that also appear on that website. Before it generates the slides for you, it gives you a chance to go through and see this little section here that's kind of highlighted in that darker gray would be a slide. Okay, so these would each be slides. You can either add a new topic if there was a particular piece of information, like what to do if you need a safety escort. You could ask it to add a topic there and reference, again, a more specific file. It's going to produce the better results based on the information that you are feeding it. Okay, so the more details that you're able to put in there, the better the results are going to get. And that's no different than any other prompt engineering. The more information you give, the better the results. But you can see here, so I'll just go ahead and close down on that one. You can see here the slides that it's providing me. And if I wanted to edit that, I'm going to keep my site here and say, let's say we need some speaker notes so that I can talk to students on each topic. Okay, so we'll go ahead and regenerate that prompt with a little bit more specificity and see how it, you won't see it here, but we'll see how it changes once we generate these slides. So again, coming up with your slide content here, it's got just a few topics. Once you are at a number and organization that you like, you can move around depending on, maybe we just want a safe campus community as top one, move those around, navigate, and now here's where the magic comes. We're going to go ahead and click Generate Slides. Again, this is part of the title of the conversation here is PowerPoint in a minute. It takes you a moment to come up with that prompt, a moment to feed it the resources and information, any of those reference files, and then it's going to start generating that content for you, pulling together the slides, putting them in an order, and being able to have all of that information for you. So you can see here, here is the slide deck that it was creating, and now it just went ahead and launched. I don't know about y'all, but that should look amazing. So you can look here and it's go ahead, it's when it's separated by sections for you. It's giving you some general information. For our purposes for right now, we're gonna go ahead and just say keep it because now is when the opportunity for you to come in and start opening it up and being able to look at these slides individually. So here we are. Copilot has created this presentation based on a pretty simplistic prompt. So imagine what it can do if you increase your specificity and clarify those expectations even more to get it to yield better results. Okay, so we went ahead and I showed you what this looks like up here for that general creation and content curation, okay? If we wanted to go over here and, oh look, it's saying hi, we can add additional information by using the tool within the ribbon here. So it's going to give you a summary of any slide deck. So this is even if you're not creating, if you're reviewing a slide deck and you want to understand a general summary, main points, you're able to pull that up here within your ribbon tool. Okay. So it's giving me that summary. It's going to give me the details. It reads any slide deck that you pull in. It's going to pull it up, read all of the details, and give you that information. As always, there's a disclaimer that it's AI generated content. So be aware of what it's producing, be aware of the information here, and make sure that it's accurate. And then it's going to give you, just like it does in the Copilot chat, it's going to give you a couple of prompt ideas of ways you may want to engage with the information here. Just general feedback, and you can always be able to message it directly and add. So let's add an image of, let's see, multiple students walking as a group, and we'll make it realistic. Okay. So from the Copilot ribbon within PowerPoint, it came up with some pictures, right? It came up with some general theme, general layout, but maybe I want to enhance some of this. Like I can see here, I didn't specify very clearly that it was a college campus. So we probably don't want elementary age students within that presentation. Oh, and it went mad. It got mad. Let's see. Create an image of college students walking on campus. Let's see if it's going to work. It might. I've been prompting it a lot today, so I might be getting cut off here in a minute with its frustration. No, there it goes. All right, we're friends again. Good. And just a good point. Sometimes it does time out. Sometimes it stops. If it does, resubmit your prompt, reiterate, and that's okay. So while it's working on that design, this is where you could go to be able to make those modifications within that PowerPoint. It did the hard work of thinking through the entire structure, the points of conversation, and the information that it prioritized. It gave you that start from a very minimal prompt. So here you already have all of this great information. Okay, so once we're in here, if there's a picture, we'll just pick this one. It's a really big group. You can have it design images specifically for your presentation once you go through and start clicking and wanting to refine it. So let's say we do want this picture here. We can go ahead and select insert, and it's going to, this is the picture it created. I'm looking closely. It's a little scary with faces. It's a little scary, but we'll just shrink that down and we're able to then go in and replace. Now, again, with any AI, eyes and hands, usually it struggles. If you haven't played with that, it's getting better, but there's still a struggle out there. If you haven't seen it, you will generate a few pictures. But in here, you're able to, if you do want it to think conceptually for you and create something out of the box or a little bit unusual or different that would be beneficial to your presentation, you can have it create that and have it create it in that same theme and general viewpoint so that it adheres to that template or standard of your presentation. Okay, I've been talking a bit. I'm going to pull back up chat and make sure. Oh, yes. Thank you. Somebody just mentioned the speaker notes. Now, again, full disclosure, my prompt for this, you saw me writing it out. It was very, very minimal. I'm going to show you in a second a little bit of a difference of one I made based on a document I already had started, a real rough outline. So if you have more robust content, it's going to be able to produce a more detailed presentation. So here it is it has just general speaker notes. So let's go ahead and we'll jump through some of these. It reiterates, of course, what those bullet points are, but does not generally repeat it verbatim. So it's not just copying and reading the text to you in your presentation, okay? So we'll jump through here. It summarizes it for you. You can always go in, change those notes. You can also ask it when you're prompting it for a particular tone, for particular structure, and adding in more details. The more that you feed it from those sites or information, then you're going to be able to reference it. Okay, so I'm just jumping through here just to show you some of those speaker notes, but that's what it pulled in automatically from my very light effort of telling it what to do. One of the questions was, do we need to give credit to Copilot for all images or pictures generated? Any restrictions? I am not aware of any restrictions. I've seen it done both ways. It's just, to me, it's no different than using some of the stock. This is just pulling from stock photography. AI generated content is unique, individual. It's, if you put in the same prompt I did to generate an image, your image would not be what I created. So I think it depends on probably what type of presentation you're having. I just did a presentation this week and it was space themed conference in Houston. So I did a lot of images of, create a female astronaut in a social event, create a female astronaut, as public speaking, things like that, so that it was relevant. When you look at those images, to me, it's pretty transparent that those are AI generated. It looks and feels that way. Now, and those were just supplemental images to reinforce my talking points, not to serve as the main purpose. So I think it depends on the intention of how you're presenting that information. If you are trying to present it as something that you created, then yeah, you might want to recognize that. I am not aware of anything legally that says that there's any kind of requirement that you would need to state that, no different than if you're using some of those stock images that are within PowerPoint already. So excellent question. And yes, so to clarify, if you have content or files that you have permissions to use, so a website is public facing, so you can pull any kind of information from a public facing website. So if there's already a site that's out there, and I've done it where I've pulled information from a site and said, can you just tell me, okay, create a presentation based on all of the information on this site, such as thinking of one for like new students or housing. If I want to know all of this information, but I just want it in more of a visual platform than having to read through that website, you could create a presentation because that content is public facing. With this license, because it connects to your personal account, your M365 account, then it can also pull in different information and documentation. So let's go ahead and I'm going to show you what that looks like here. We're going to start another new one, and I'm going to create a presentation and show you what it's like referencing a document that I already have. So it's within my permissions. So if Dr. Sarah Moore has particular files or proposals or research that she's working on, I have no connection to access any of her documentation at all with this. It's only the files that I have saved that I am referencing that I choose, okay? So you just do your little slash mark to be able to reference a file. It's going to pull up files that, that I've recently opened, okay? So these are a couple of files that I've been working on. There's our Week of AI schedule. And that way you're able to quickly reference ones that you've been working on. So here's mine, PowerPoint in a minute. Let's see, what do we want it to include? Include speaker notes on the benefits of a M365 license for staff at a college. What else do we need? Let me see here. Do y'all have any other ideas you want me to add to it? Oh, yes. Good. Y'all are absolutely. Yes, and you could ask if you don't want, you don't have to have people pictures. You can ask for no images, or you could even just do conceptual images. So we can even say that I want images included of PowerPoint in the colors of pink and purple, because why not? So we'll see if, again, this, please do better prompts than what I'm showing you because I'm just doing them quickly and on the spot. But this is going to give a structure. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I did reference my file. I forgot for a second. Okay. So, and then I made it mad. What did I do here? Let's think of cancel out of that. Okay, so here it is. It pulled up some quick information. I had a Word doc. I'm going to pull it over on the screen just so that you can see it. So here's a Word doc. I will say, if you're creating a Word doc, this one is kind of brief already in bulleted list. Using the styles within the Word doc so that it is segmented out or bulleted out or a numbered list. If you have your document formatted, it's going to produce even better results for you because it's just scanning and able to pull that information into a better structure for you. So if you do that work up front, if you have a long research proposal or information, it's going to be able to better negotiate the differences between those and generate. So here we have a general structure. Let's go ahead and generate those slides. It's going to think about it for just a second and be able to pull up that information for us. Now, I will, just to discuss the file types that you can upload. You can upload a link. So again, if there's anything on a website that exists anywhere that you want it to pull as a reference, that you need those notes, that you want those details, you can use websites. You can upload a PDF. So if you have a briefing or a policy or a more detailed proposal, well, it didn't use my colors, but it did change things, but that's okay. We can reprompt and reiterate. So you can use browser, PDF, or a Word file currently. So those are the types of documents you can reference. I did try playing with it because I wanted to pull in a particular Excel file and be able to generate a report that way. The workaround is that it doesn't directly pull from your Excel file, but with Copilot in Excel, that Michael will be showing later, you can create different charts and graphs, and you could just pull that chart and embed it within your presentation. It doesn't generate a presentation based on data from the Excel file yet. I'm sure that will be there, but anyways, just that point of clarification here. So those are your three sources you can pull from: our browser, Word, and PDF. Okay, so any of those open source documentations. So we went ahead and pulled it. Here it is. If you don't need a picture, again, it's just a matter of going into that home ribbon, going to Copilot, and I'm going to refine this because I didn't want this as an image, right? We saw that in the prompt. It just didn't process it when it was trying to get that data. So now I can say of PowerPoint using pink and purple. Let's make it abstract. And it's going to pull that. You absolutely, if you don't want images, if you don't want any kind of graphical representation, you don't have to. If it's helpful, then you can. It just depends on how you're prompting it. And I do see a note here that somebody doesn't see the Copilot button in the Home tab. You will not have this license. It is a purchase license, so you will not see that. Okay, so these are kind of fun. Look at this one. That's the one I want. Look at that. Okay, so, and if you do see, a lot of times the words don't come out just perfectly. However, if I wanted some sort of visual representation of something, an abstract thought, a concept, just to add a little splash of color, of information to the presentation, that's where I could go get it. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with y'all's. I see Blake feverishly typing. Thank you, Blake, because I am obviously not keeping up with all of it. I'm going to get back to Lori's question. If you already have a PowerPoint template, yes, you absolutely can reference that. Going back, Lori, if you do already have a file that is saved, then you can reference that and tell it to pull from that, or you can pull that template up and have the template already open in PowerPoint. I started from a blank presentation as opposed from a saved template, but you can have it pull and drop that into a template. So if you already have one that has kind of your custom colors or information, or the way that you like to visualize your information, you 100% can have it pull from a template and just put that data in there for you. So excellent question. And what I see at conferences and information is for those people that are asking about, again, just referencing if it was AI support, AI generated, this should be something that you are co-curating. You are still the one piloting this. You are still the one engineering that prompt, pulling together the data, especially if you already have that Word document proposal. You're giving it the structure. Okay, so you're co-curating. It's not just randomizing information. Then you're going in and you're refining. But what I have seen is just a simple disclosure that even says created with the assistance of AI, created with through collaboration with AI, whatever you want to say, but just being able to disclose it that way in a little bullet, or even just verbally acknowledging. But if you've used, okay, for my friends, let's do a quick raised hand. Have you used PowerPoint Designer in the past? I'm about to show that and I want to see if you've used that or not. Excellent, we got a couple. Oh no, only 3. Keep raising them. You keep your hands up. I'll have somebody lower them in just a second. I'm just trying to see my totals here. Okay. So we literally only have a handful that have used it, which is excellent. I'll be able to show that too. The way that this tool is working is not that much different than being able to use Designer or some of these other tips and techniques, okay? It's coming up with you creating this original content, being able to it's helping you quickly structure this information and put it in a framework that makes sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump to another slide here, and I'm gonna go into the Design tab up at the top, and I'm gonna select Designer. Now, folks, you have this. This is already there. It's always been in your PowerPoint. It hasn't gone away. It's still available. So if you already have PowerPoints that you want to fix, This is an AI option that has been there all along. I mean, for years. So it's easy to miss because a lot of people don't use it. Leverage it. It's brilliant. Anytime you have slides, even if you already have that pre-established template, you can go in here and utilize Designer to make those quick changes. It's going to come up based on what information you have on slide, based on the content, the spacing, the sizing. It's going to generate some content for you and make recommendations. So you can click on and be able to instantly change that layout, that format, that design, that aesthetic based on the information that you already have on your slides. Okay, you can see different design ideas, different layouts, depending on how you want it. And it is just literally click, plug and play. So this one that's not making too many changes on, but we can see it here as well. Now, the reason I highlight this and love it is that it still ensures all of the data on the slide, the information, the format, the way it's being presented, your font style, your font colors are all accessible. It does that work for you. It ensures that when it's creating and making these suggestions, it's still going to look and be clear. Of course, always test, but the designs that it's giving you, it's not going to give you something in a very terrible color contrast or with font that's too small to be able to read on screen. It's going to ensure that all of that is already accessible. So I'm catching up. I'm missing the. Okay, I'm seeing wonderful comment on low-key stressing about a topic. I'll be presenting at a conference next month. Generate a presentation in a minute. Need to review the content, but it gives you a starting, and that's what this is. This is not to be the end all of your presentation, right? You're not going to just stop with this, oh, look, flowers. It has nothing to do with it, but it's so pretty. Oh, so you still have to go in here. You still have to navigate it. You still have to feed it. You can still go to that home tab and be able to go to Copilot and say what you want, right? We've got a structure, we've got that general outline, that baseline, and we can go in here and be able to prompt it to give us additional information, tweaking these slides. Now, I will say, I'm going to preface this with, because I've been playing with this a lot. One thing more. Ooh, look at that one. Okay, got distracted. Okay. Wanted to preface it with saying that with some of these, what I wanted it to do and where I think it will go eventually, I wanted to have it all pulled together and say, you know what, I want all of my font to be blue, or everywhere it says M365, make that orange. It's not there yet. It can tell you everywhere M365 shows up on a slide so that you then could manually go in, highlight it, and change that color. But it's not going to go do that for you in the prompts, at least not yet. So just be aware, this is meant to give you that quick starting structure and then allow you to run with it. So, okay, perfect. I don't think I've missed. Okay, we've got a question here. If we upload an existing presentation that has speaker notes on it, can AI use Voiceover by reading the existing notes? I'm not familiar with it doing that in PowerPoint. I know it can do that in Clipchamp, which means you could just move that PowerPoint presentation file over to Clipchamp and then have the voice read that aloud and be able to have that audio file associated with it. I'm not familiar with it yet in this. And yes, there is an opportunity to be in the AI Champions pilot test group. That's going to be in one of my slides here in just a minute. I'll pull that back up and be able to share that with you all. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything from this. We went over that. Oh, I'll go back really quick. This is just one that it created for me yesterday using that same kind of prompt. Well, maybe I put the wrong link in. Let me pull it up here. Very similar. This was the more robust prompt. And then I was able to go in and kind of play with certain things. This was the campus safety prompt, but just showing you that each time it pulls together content, the content may be very similar, but the way that it lays it out, the information, the images that it comes up with is completely different. It is generating something new each and every time. So I could use the same prompt today that I used yesterday, and it's going to pull it up and refine it a little bit different. It's creating that anew for us. Okay, so, oh, yes, let's do this one. Let me pull this one up really quick. See, this is why I have to leave myself notes, is because I get distracted. Okay, so I went ahead and I've got a document here on teaching strategies for if you're a new TA and need to have some guidance on how to have some classroom management, all of these things. So it's a little bit of a short document, but you can see here how I use the styles. You can see here how there's kind of these clear pieces of information. All right, so let's go. Sorry, I'm jumping around here. We're going to go back to PowerPoint. It's got to refresh because I'm making it do too many things. We're going into PowerPoint, and we're going to pull from this effective teaching strategies just to show you one more time what it looks like when you're creating something. And now I have to find my tab with my notes. Maybe. Okay. Create a presentation and just that little slash effective. All right. We wanted to create a presentation based on this source for TAs to learn teaching and classroom management techniques. I want it to be very detailed, and what else? And have tangible examples for my TA, period, bam. Okay, I didn't put a space there, it's fine. Okay, it's going to be pulling up again from my file as well as generating content that it's pulling from. And we'll go ahead and generate. Looks like it didn't pull in too much, but I didn't also put in much effort in that prompt. So let's see, while it generates, I'm jumping back to. Yes, Carlos. Yes, this presentation is scheduled to last an hour. So I'm giving you multiple examples and trying to hopefully explain it in a way so that you can see all of the ways that this tool can work and the multiple purposes that it can fill. But the design and the creation of the PowerPoint does only take about a minute from prompt to delivery. So let's see here. So here's another way, just being able to show y'all how that pulled together from that Word document, pulling it up, giving you those details and clarifications here. So let's see. So there's a question here that if somebody designed a presentation using Copilot, can it be updated in a regular PowerPoint? This is a regular PowerPoint. It will export, it will share no differently than when you're sharing it as PowerPoint. So if you just needed to share it, you could go in here and be able to share this file as a PowerPoint. Right now, I'm just using this in the browser version, so I use the browser for everything, but you absolutely can share it. People can access it, people can utilize it. You don't have to have the M365 license to be able to access this PowerPoint. You can absolutely access it and utilize it. So you can ask it to put in real pictures. You can absolutely prompt it to find. A lot of times too, you can still use that designer too. And it oftentimes can generate there, or you can prompt it in your Copilot tab as well by adding an image, and you could specify, make it look realistic. In this Copilot, it's generating that content. So it is generative AI, which means it is coming up with it on the spot as opposed to pulling it from a source. Now, if you have a source, you can absolutely be able to tell it that you want it to upload an image that you particularly have, that you already have saved, and you just would add that file and upload it, and you could utilize it that way, especially if you have a logo or any kind of branding. So great questions. Okay. And yes, thank you, Blake. Yes, everybody, just like a standard PowerPoint, you can absolutely I will need to send you Pearl information on Clipchamp. You were absolutely able to utilize it. I did a demo on that a couple of months ago, and you can. So y'all are rapid fire questioning. Okay, I love this. Let me jump back to this just to make sure I haven't missed anything. We talked about the accepted file type, so you were able to see that. This is my little generated AI PowerPoint presentation. I love it. Okay, we talked about this too. I'm wrapping up in just a few minutes. I'm going to jump back to these questions, but let me wrap up just so that you have everything. As you're building your PowerPoints, some of the best practices is those word styles. You saw how I formatted my Word document so that it was very clear and could pull the content appropriately. The more structure you have behind it, the more it's going to be able to produce that for you so that you can just quickly pull from your existing sources and put that into layout rather than having to hand type everything all over again. You are able to include images, whether you generate that, whether you upload that, and you absolutely can start with your organization's template. So great questions here. Now, for those of you that maybe you saw this and you thought, okay, I know it's a lot of information. There was a lot of examples. If it's something that may interest you, that you might want to have this as a resource in your pocket as a tool, then absolutely feel free to, let's see, Poulin, I see you have your hand raised. So I'm gonna allow your mic and camera here in just a second if you need something. But if this is something that is of interest to you, you can fill out this survey. The survey does not mean that you just automatically get it. It is not a free permission granted. I know that a lot of people want it, like it, but if it's something that you feel that you're interested in, then we want you to fill out this form so that we can have an idea of how many people on campus might leverage this. Again, as I stated at the beginning, there is a cost associated with this. This is not a free tool. It is not a free service. There is a very real, tangible cost associated with having this additional license and access to it. So, Poulin, I think I have granted you permission to speak.
I appreciate it. And no, we had throughout the presentation, Amanda, we had a lot of questions on that. So I just kind of wanted to address the same exact thing that you just kind of said. And right now in our AI Champions program, we have two offerings. One is Teams Premium, and the other one is this M365 Copilot access. And with the Copilot access, we our CIO purchased about a little over 100 licenses for the pilot program. And we're almost at capacity. However, we do expect to reduce that number drastically in maybe a month. So if you fill out this QR code, we will eventually be able to get many of you access to it, but we do have a very limited number of accounts. I think somebody else also asked about personal. If I just go out and buy it, can I use it? The short answer is you probably could, because it'll be yours. But the long answer is that you shouldn't, because it will not have the same protection. With this program, we're protecting the university's data by not training other models, not giving access to other organizations that could leverage it to learn from. So our proprietary data, our confidential data, all of that stays with us. And that's why we want to use this. I know the answer is kind of hard because I'm not giving you very many options of being able to use it besides the Champions program. But this feedback is critical for us to go back to our leadership and say, hey, really, this is the need for campus. This is the requirements from campus. So please fill out the survey as much as you can. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Poulin. Yeah, thanks for the clarification. I tried to tee it up starting the presentation that way, but I know once people see it, then they immediately want it. And I understand that, and I want it too, and I use it, and I love it. And it's wonderful because sometimes just having that ability to quickly structure your thoughts and get everything set out, especially if you already have a written proposal or pieces already put together. So, okay. Jumping back into a couple quick questions as we wrap up, and hopefully everyone got that QR code. I'm going to go ahead and move on. We do have a survey too for you to complete just as you're participating in our sessions for Week of AI. If you could give us some feedback, there's been a tremendous amount of presenters and effort. So put together so that we can show and share this information with you, because we want you to be excited about AI. We want you to leverage it. We want you to make use of it too, and know what exists and what is out there, and that the future is just so full of potential. So fill out our survey. Ujjwal, I see you. I'm going to answer just a couple quick questions. I apologize. Sarah, you asked if I recommend browser. I do. I just think it's easier to access. If you like your desktop version, I am not saying don't use the desktop version of these applications. You do you. Choose what works for you, what you like best. Browser just works better for me because I can just type it in quickly and be able to access it. And that's just my personal preference. Okay, I'm seeing if I missed anything. Sorry, I'm scanning chat. Okay, on the list of the file types you can upload, it's PDF, website, and Word. You're not able to, you're not able to upload an existing PowerPoint, but from an existing PowerPoint, you have that Copilot icon there. And from that, then you could use that to redesign or completely restructure an existing presentation as well. So, okay. I'm scanning. Okay. I think that I answered the top tier questions. Thank you so much for joining the session today, and Ujjwal, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Great session, great interaction, great chat. I also request, thank you, Pulin, for coming on camera and talking about the interest form. I would request everyone who are interested, please fill out the form so that we at OIT can gauge interest about it. Also, please share it with your peer faculty, staff, so that we can come to know how useful is this technology for you. With that, we have next session coming on for the week of AI, that is smart studying, leveraging AI for academic success. I think the weather is looking really good, so we can all stop by Tech Bar, ask questions, and get on this topic. This is presented by Katie Wills, and she would be present there to help you with all your questions. Thank you, everyone, for your week of AI. We'll see you in the next session. Take care.
Bye. Thank y'all.